Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Halayim La Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. Rashanya Gabag Gawala Rekup. Okay. The brother Isaiah with the Pittsburgh GMS camp. Coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rachaha Kodash. Lord, within this lesson is edifying. And I haven't come up with a title for this lesson, but I just want to kind of respond or chime in on this this whole topic, of this video clip that's going around. Elder Mount Zakbai did a video on it. Elder Apostle Gabar spoke on it. Elder Apostle or I'll say the Elder Yashawamba spoke on it. And I'm sure other people have also spoken on this whole thing. Okay, of what happened with HOI. All right, and that brother that was holding posts, how he ended up punching on that dude, hitting him or whatever. And I just want to kind of chime in on what the elders and apostles were saying, of looking to our example of Yahweh Shai, which that's through the spirit, because this is actually, I want to bring this up. It's Salakia. I hooked up this mic again. I want to get this Hebrews 12 right. Hebrews 12:1, which Elder Apostle Gabar brought this out, and the scripture kept running in my mind as I was thinking about this whole situation, right? Because as it was spoken of with the Elder Karatazah, he also did out there in Vegas. He also did a lesson going into this, and this has been my mindset for a while of just trying to avoid giving the enemy ammunition to use against you, because this is likewise what our big brother Yahweh Shai did when he was faced, all right, with these different oppositions and these different attempts that these Pharisees and whatnot was trying to trap him in his words and incriminate him and so on and so forth. All right, so Hebrews 12:1 says, "Wherefore, seeing we are also compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, okay, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." And this is something that we struggle with, in the flesh. All right, and I want to get that word beset, okay, and I'll move on, Salat. All right, because these different things that we do, all right, can beset us. Okay, these different vices in the flesh that we might have, or these different responses, that we might have. Okay, get that word beset. Hit play on it.
Strong's G 2139. Euperestatas. Euperestatas.
Euperestatas. And I just want to make sure that this audio is actually being captured. So
Strong's G 2139.
All right.
Euperestatas. Euperestatas.
Skillfully surrounding, besetting. Okay. Standing around, thwarting a racer in every direction, figuratively, of sin. Okay. Surrounding, to prevent or retard running. Wow. Okay. To prevent or retard running. Okay. So these are like obstacles, the sins, the different vices we have, and that's the title I want to actually entitle this. Brothers need to get out of that WWE MMA spirit. Okay. This ain't WWF. All right. This whole ministry, there's a certain way of being that Yahweh Shai set forth, a standard that he gave us, that we had to be mindful of, and also be mindful that we're not in that WWF Royal Rumble, okay, table, ladders, and chairs match spirit, okay? Not only while we're doing this work, okay, but in our lives also, man. All right. Hebrews 12 and 1 again, which I just want to harp on that part. Easy and let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. And how perfect is that word beset means to retard running or to stop the running. Okay, it prevents you from being able to run with patience. Okay, the different things that we deal with, right? Because we all get tempted in the flesh to get carnal. Okay, but as the elder apostle Gabar said, every time he got carnal, it never worked out for him. And I can say the same thing, man. It's like the Lord throughout my life put me in situations where when I decided to get carnal because of my own pride or because I felt like I was on some macho shit or whatever it was, the Lord allowed me to get embarrassed. The Lord allowed it to not happen the way that I wanted it to go. All right. But whenever I was in the right or I was just defending myself or defending somebody else, then the Lord blessed my hands to win those situations, man. Okay. So we have to be mindful that we're not in the wrong spirit. All right. So that the Lord may justify us in the things that we're doing. Verse 2 says, looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. I want to get that word despising, okay? And bear with me, Baba Kashai. I'm going through the spirit on this. I did have some things, I do have some examples, let me say, that I want to go into, okay? Should have kept this open. Hebrews 12, okay? This word despising. Hebrews 12 and 2.
Strong's G 2706. Katafraneo. Katafraneo.
Katafraneo. Despise, to think little or nothing of, to contemn, to despise, to disdain, or to think little or nothing of the shame, okay? Disesteem. All right. Yahushua wasn't worried about the shame or the supposed shame that came from the embarrassment that we know he had to feel. Okay. In the situation that he was in. Let's continue to read, right? Because this is the thing about it. After they got through, instead of dealing with long suffering with that scoffer, after they got through punching him, what did the guy on the microphone say? He said, yeah, we ain't begging. We ain't begging. Okay. See, this is the thing about it. When you dealing with a scoffer, all right, sometimes you just got to wait it out till that nigga leave. Now, if he's being violent and so on and so forth, okay, that's one thing. Okay. Situation may have to change. All right. If you're defending yourself, right? But if he's just sitting up there talking and being a scoffer, sometimes you just got to sit up there and take the low, man. Just endure it. Especially considering these times that we in, man. Esau's about to send a lot of agent provocateurs that's going to be on the bullshit. Okay. You got to remember during some of these different little protests and rallies, there was different little provocateurs in there with masks on, you know what I'm saying? As we hear from different reports, inciting different things, man, perpetrating and acting like that they was just normal protesters. And meanwhile, they was up there to, what's the word? Incite violence, man. All right. We can get that word incite, get it in the etymology, just so there can be an edification from these words that I'm using. Incite, verb, okay? To stir up, to excite, to instigate, to put into rapid motion, to rouse, to urge, to encourage, to stimulate, okay? So there's going to be to move, to excite. So there's going to be people, okay, that are going to come up and they're going to attempt to get a reaction out of brothers. And if you're already in that, if you smell what the rock, if you already in that spirit of rock bottom people's elbow, you know what I'm saying, a stone cold stunner, if you already in that mindset of nigga, we can brawl, let's throw them hands, then it's gonna be real easy when the agent provocateurs come up for you to get in the middle of some shit. And see, this is the thing about it. Once you enter into that realm of carnality, you lose the protection of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Once you enter into that, the scriptures tell you what? Um, see if we can find that. I don't know how many times enmity is in here. Not that many. Okay. Romans 8. Shoot, that's a good one, right? That's a good one right there too. Okay. Romans 8 and 5. It says, "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh." What's some of the things of the flesh? Uh, Worrying about how you look, or how you ain't about to be disrespecting me. Yeah, I wish I got way much more disrespect, okay, than anything that these scoffers can do to us, man. But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. All right. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, where it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. You see that? Living in the flesh, thinking of a fleshly state, about things, already being ready, always being ready to, as Apostle Gabar put it, being a brawler, okay, being knockaround guys. You're not pleasing the Lord. You say, "Oh, I can't wait, man. Let the scoffer come up, man. I'm gonna uppercut their ass. Why? I'm a Hadouken. No, man. That's not the right spirit. Okay, but you're not in the flesh, but in the spirit. So if so be that the spirit of the Most High dwell in you. Okay, now if any man have not the spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his. Now, Paul spoke about how some men. See if I can find that, because Paul spoke about that. Um, Damn, I don't know if I can find it. Okay, because where Paul was speaking about how whenever he was speaking unto people, okay, that he was getting on them so hard that they thought he was carnal, but he wasn't carnal. But anyway, I'm not gonna get on into that because I can't find it. All right, but as we let's read this. James 4:4 says, "Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High." And that's the thing of the world, to be in that WWE WrestleMania spirit, always ready to fight and brawl. You know, that's that worldly mindset, man. Okay, but let's go back to Hebrews 12. All right, because we have an example in Yahweh Shai that we should look at. All right, let's go to start in verse 2 again. Looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. So he didn't care about the shame that came with it. He lowly esteemed the shame that he definitely endured. So why did he have shame? Verse 3 says, "For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your hands." Yeah, the sinners was out there. They was contradicting themselves, man, talking shit. All right, I'm compelled to get this word. Doing a lot. We're doing a lot in Hebrews. All right, but willingness be edified. Contradictions.
Strong's G 485. Antilagia. Antilagia.
Antilagia. Gainsaying. Opposition. Rebellion. Contradiction. All right, gainsaying. Right, people coming up talking shit with the added notion of strife, rebellion, opposition in act. This is since disputed by some, so on and so forth. So, people gonna come up and they're gonna oppose this truth. They're gonna talk stuff. They're gonna, think that you're gonna think you dumb, or they're gonna, whatever, man. It's gonna happen, man. All right, but we gotta stay in our manly, our masculine frame, and not get emotional to the best of our ability. Verse 4, Hebrews 12:4. You have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. Okay. See, so we ain't even had to resist unto blood yet. Okay, we haven't, there ain't this that situation wasn't life or death. Now, they were afraid of, whether or not he had a gun and whatever the case might have been. All right. But at the end of the day, you know, obviously he didn't have a gun. All right. And they were the ones who put hands on him first. Okay. Now let's go to some of these examples, man, of how cold Yahushua was. All right. Now, bear with me, Baba Kashai. These ain't really in order. It was kind of hard to pinpoint where to start. Some of these gospels, which they call the synoptic gospels, they repeat certain stories over and over from different perspectives. But there was different times where the disciples, not the disciples, but where the Pharisees tried to trap Yahushua up in his words, and he used wisdom. He used counter words. He used different situations. All right, to get these people off his back. Salaki, I'm gonna pause for a second. All right. So let's read in Mark 12. Okay. Mark 12. And I'm not gonna read this whole thing. I'm gonna start at verse 10. It says, and have ye not read this scripture? The stone which the builders rejected is become the head of the corner. This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. And they sought to lay hold on him, but feared the people. For they knew that he had spoken the parable against them. And they left him and went on their way. So this is a situation where, he spoke a parable up against the Pharisees. Go back. Which I think I have this. I might have this. No, I don't have it pulled up in Mark. Well, yeah, I do. Right here. Mark 11. So I'll close it over here. Okay, and this is the same account that's reiterated in the book of Matthew. I believe it's over here. Okay, let me put these in order. All right, Mark 11 and 27. It says, and they come again to Jerusalem. And as he was walking in the temple, there came to him the chief priests and the scribes and the elders, and say unto him, by what authority doest thou these things? And who gave thee this authority to do these things? And how which I answered and said unto them, I will also ask of you one question, and answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I do these things. So Yahushua knew they were trying to trap him up. All right. They were trying to trap him up in his words to get him to say something that would, sound radical to the people and possibly get him, get them to justify this jealousy that they have for him. Okay. Verse 30 says, the baptism of John, was it from heaven or of men? Answer me. And they reasoned with themselves, saying, if we shall say from heaven, he will say, why then did ye not believe him? But if we shall say of men, they feared the people, for all men counted John that he was a prophet indeed. You see, so this is the perfect example of this scripture right here. All right. Matthew 10 and 16 says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Right. So there's people out there that seek to eat us up. Okay, spiritually. And Yahushua knew it. Okay, he knew they were trying to get him. So he put them in a position where they couldn't get their way. He used wisdom to put them in a tricky situation where whatever, no matter what answer they would have gave, okay, they would have been confounded. Verse 32, and then they would have they would have had a situation. You see, because if they would have said, "Oh," it would have said, the baptism of John came from heaven." Okay, then, like it said, he would have right, and I'll read it again, verse 31, 11:31, Mark 11:31, and they reason with themselves, saying, "If we shall say from heaven, he will say, why then did ye not believe him?" Yahweh was cold, man. He was like, "Look, I'm gonna put them in a hard ass position where they can't really say nothing, man. They couldn't even answer the question." This is the level I'm thinking we need to be on with these scoffers and stuff. Trapping them up with logic if we can. Okay. Verse 32, but if we shall say of men, they feared the people, for all men counted John, that he was a prophet indeed. And they answered and said unto Yahweh, we cannot tell. And Yahweh answering saith unto them, neither do I tell you by what authority I do these things. Okay, and it's the same story here over and over. Okay. He goes into the different parables. All right. Salakia. Matthew 22:15 says, then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. You got people out there trying to do this to us, man. And they sent out unto them their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true and teachest the way of the Most High in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Yahushua perceived their wickedness and said, why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? So he knew, okay, sometimes not sometimes, to the best of your ability, as much as possible, you got to read the spirit and know what the spirit is saying. Listen to the voice of the spirit. If you see somebody coming up, I'll never forget. I seen, we was at camp and So Real came up, and he had his camera, his phone, and it was live, and I peeped it. I'm like, he's live right now, and I always thought to myself, or just the spirit was saying to me that he was trying to use that as an opportunity to make us look bad, because them different Christians and stuff, what they like to do is they like to come in front of you and they like to present different questions, and they would like to say, well, you never answer my question, or they like to, do different things like that to try to make the truth look bad, which you can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. All right, but still, I noticed that he'll try to make us look like these evil people. They'll tell these guys to try to make us look like these such evil people. All right, so I was like, look, we're gonna deal with them. All right, and we're gonna show them that we're not these unseasoned people that are not able to deal patiently, okay, and to the best of our ability. So that's what Yahweh did. He used wisdom, man, against these people. All right, and Salaki, I'm getting a little sleepy. I do got to go to work. I've been, at work. Got still ain't done for the night. It's 11:30. I got to get up early, but I got to get this lesson out. I've been trying to read and find out what to bring out. So it took me a few hours to try to put it together. Eventually, I just had to hit record, man. Okay, so Matthew 22:18, but Yahweh perceived their wickedness and said, why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? You see, because they were trying to catch them. And there will come a time where you saying something against the government, you saying don't pay taxes or this or anything like that, which we ain't gonna tell you that, necessarily, because you'll put yourself in a jam with the authorities. But nevertheless, okay, he knew they were trying to catch him up to have a witness against him. All right. Matthew 22:19, show me the tribute money, and they brought him unto him a penny, and he saith unto them, whose is the image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. and say, if he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto the Most High the things that are the Most High. Okay? And when they heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way. All right? So, let me see here. Yeah, I want to read this one, okay? Because they sought to kill Yahushua because he did this. Matthew 12 and 9 says, and when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue. And behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? That they might accuse him. You see? And he said unto them, what man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep? And if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out? How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days. Okay, and he even went deeper on another account in the book of John. Okay, the book of John. Let's read this. All right. John chapter 7 and 21. Yahweh answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and ye all marvel. Okay, Salaki. He healed a man on the Sabbath. I'm just trying to find out. Okay, I'm just going to keep reading. Verse 22, Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers. And ye on the Sabbath day circumcise a man. If a man on the Sabbath day receives circumcision, that the law of Moses should not be broken. Why are ye angry at me, because I have made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? All right, see? So Yahushua caught them up, man. He was wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove in this situation as well. Like, look, man, if a baby made it to the 8th day and it was a Sabbath, you know, y'all followed the custom so heavy that you can't tell me you wasn't gonna sacrifice, not sacrifice. So like, yeah, I'm definitely getting tired. You can't tell me you wasn't gonna circumcise that baby, man. So it just goes back to what the scripture said about it is good to do good on the Sabbath. Nevertheless, use wisdom, use guile, not guile, but be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Because what's about to happen is, okay, these people is about to be on a whole nother level. They already pushing out, sending out agents and trying to demonize us. All right, so we're gonna have to be in a more spiritual mindset of not allowing certain things to get us out of our frame, not allowing certain things to put us in a status of WWE SummerSlam table ladders and chairs match, you know, ready to go out there and just and fight everybody that scoffs or that scoffs at us or looks funny. Oh, Salaki. Hey, so with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect. And then I want to say Shalom, Wabba Babal, Shalom.